Hello and welcome to another audio analysis. In today's video we take a look at the track Richter und Henker by the German rock band OOMPH. This is the title track from their upcoming 14th studio album, which does release on September 8th, and they certainly came out the gate like a wrecking ball with the introduction of Der Schulz on Wenn die Stunde schlägt. They really showed the power that they were able to bring across, and I was very impressed with his vocal style and the way that he was really able to capture that aggressive tone that Daryl Goy really brought. Not quite as sadistic, but really adding his own touch, not trying to sound too much like the old style of the band, and it really seems to have got the creative juices flowing from the first track that we did get to hear. The title of this track does translate to Judge and Executioner, and it's something we saw them focus quite heavily on with the first music video from this album, really touching on when the hour strikes, a time where typically executions used to happen in the past, really bringing that historic idea, and it's possibly something they may want to focus on throughout the course of the album, but this is certainly going to have that full-on effect, I would imagine, given it's part of the actual title of the track. So will this track be judged kindly or executed for its sins? Let's take a look at exactly how it sounds.
Es grassiert im Land, ohne Herz und Hand, wie ein Flächenbrand, blind und oft noch unerkannt. Es wird rekrutiert, Lügen propagiert, wer nicht mitmarschiert, der wird schamlos diffamiert. Zum Hassen programmiert, Festland deinstalliert, weil jemand profitiert, wenn Dummheit revoltiert. Was ist geschehen? Die Dichter und Henker sind nicht mehr zu sehen, nur Richter und Henker. Ich hab den Hass gesehen.
Okay, there's already a few things I'm really enjoying about this track. I love that guitar hook that we've really got coming in. Despite this track not being quite as melodic as that first single we did get to hear, that guitar hook really does pull you in. It certainly gives off that real strong vibe of what the band are very much known for. Certainly a lot of the bands in the German scene, like Rammstein, use quite often that same effect, and it really does stand out and really pulls you into the song and really just kind of helps to add that flow to it. And with this song, we can certainly see it's such an idea of almost like this collapse of society, really things just really falling apart, with the idea of it being rampant in the country with no heart or hand, almost like a wildfire spreading almost and kind of destroying lands, things like that. So it's kind of talking about this idea of sort of this rising revolution and how it can destroy people. Certainly the refrain, I love how we get this more soaring style as it makes reference to poets and thinkers, these creative people with really big ideas, and they're no longer to be seen judges and executioners only. So that very stabby, very quick action that we have got coming from the guitar really fits in with this theme of these judges and executioners, making those very snappy calls almost. So I like they've kind of gone for this very different style, not quite as melodic, certainly much more etchy, certainly much more edgy, and I do really like how it fits in with the theme of the song. But I really love the way kind of in the chorus how they really do raise the soaring style to really fit in with the idea of poets and thinkers. It's great how they've done that. And even before the chorus, programmed to hate, mind uninstalled, almost like people have just kind of become mind numbed almost. Society has kind of fallen apart because someone benefits when stupidity revolts. So really showing the idea that when the person in charge almost doesn't have that proper way of thinking, it really can cause a lot of chaos, cause a lot of problems. And it's something that we've seen certainly in the world with lots of really strong ideas coming through from people that maybe don't think first, they kind of act first before they think, and they're really putting this idea really onto this theme with the idea of judges and executioners, really making those final cutting calls.
Unzufriedenheit macht Gewalt bereit, wenn Durchtriebenheit sie von Menschlichkeit befreit.
really like as we move into the second verse. This idea of being discontent makes violent people. This idea of being on the edge and really not knowing where to go, being kind of almost fed these lies to really kind of get somebody to draw them to your side. This idea of harnessing her to his cart, really drawing people along, leading people along, and really touched on the idea of going to that execution. I do feel almost like we saw the blindfolded character at the start of the video. Maybe they're the person that's being led blindly to the slaughter. You can really see that coming along, really pulling in a lot of violent ideas, which is actually referenced in the lyrics as well. You follow the charlatan, call other subjects, you eat out of his hand and call it resistance. Almost like this idea of just being led along, fed lies, and just really buying into this idea, following somebody, this almost cruel leader that is leading you almost into the darkness, leading you almost to your death, hence the idea of execution.
Fühlt sie an der Hand, verbundene Augen, die Vernunft steht an der Wand. Ich kann es nicht glauben, ein letztes Wort und dann legt man auf sie an.
Yes, I really did love that bridge that we went into with these really softer sounds, almost like that moment of silence where you get that final word before an execution, and you can really start coming through one last word and then you aim for them with the idea of the gun salute and also the marching as well. It was really interesting as we went past that bridge. I really like that musical element they did bring in, making it feel very historic, almost like a march of revolt, and really tying in that idea of very clear cut, very clear cutthroat almost in the actions, everybody acting under one person and willing to just execute and judge people. So you can really see that historic ties that the song has got in, and talking about society decaying again, we're destined to repeat the mistakes of the past. So you can really feel that that's coming through with this very old style we have got to the music video and the way they're kind of referencing our modern world about what's happened to the poets and the thinkers. And I love the way they actually incorporated that idea into the musical style as we did move through the chorus. I love that way they really went into that more soaring style for the big thinkers, the people that have these big ideas. It was really interesting the way they included that and then kept it very sharp for the point where they're talking about the judges and the executioners, these people that make these pinpoint decisions without having that thought. So a very, very clever track coming out from the band. Not quite as melodic as that first single we did get to hear, but really incorporating still this running theme that we have seen through these two tracks, the idea of these executioners being on the hour almost, this last word that you get before you're almost shot or executed. So I really like the way they're kind of looking at this theme running through, and it'd be interesting to see if that develops throughout the rest of the album. But we have got to hear the opening track as well as the title track, and they've both been very impressive, very different, including different elements, and I really did enjoy the way they included almost the marching element, something different to the song that really shows more creative flair coming from the band. So that will be everything for today's video, but as always, feel free to let me know your thoughts about this track in the comments section below. How do you think it lives up to the first single we did get to hear from the album? Or are you excited to get to hear the album in its entirety when it does release at the beginning of September? I'm very much looking forward to it. It certainly feels like the band have really found their mojo. They're really kind of coming back with a bang after losing Daryl Goy. Many, myself included, thought it would be the end of the band. There's no way they can bounce back from this, and so far they are certainly proving every anybody wrong. Also, if you would like to see more content like this, then please do feel free to subscribe, and I will see you in the next dojo analysis.